Spoilers.
Pandas.
Pandas. There's gonna be pandas. No, there's no pandas. I mean, that's the whole thing, is that it seemed like this at the beginning of the season, such a fresh start with this very peaceful society. I think this season just further goes into the sort of the idea that I don't know if humans ever can be truly peaceful or have a utopian society. There will always be something behind that. Human nature is such. But human nature is something that's very interesting, and that's why the entertainment business exists, is because we would like to watch and understand ourselves better, because I don't think we fully do. Mm-hmm. So that's kind of where the season continues to go, is researching further and further humanity and its flaws, for sure.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I think that this is definitely a more internal journey into each of the characters. Mm-hmm. So it makes it more personal how each of them interact, how they interact with this new society. They are trying to do better. But there's a breakdown in the system, there's always communication. And I think human nature actually, I think that we want to do good, and we have an impulse to help each other. Mm-hmm. And it's mirrored in politics, where, it's poor communication of people standing up for what they believe is right. And all the chaos that creates, and how difficult it can be to make peace and make everybody happy,
Yeah, I mean, I definitely believe there's good in us and we want to do good. I personally believe that as well. It's just so many things have to go right in order to pull that off, and we never seem to be able to.
Yeah.
And the 100 specifically.
Specifically, yeah.
For sure. Oh, I have no idea. That's under lock and key for Mr. Jason Rothenberg, for sure. Yeah. I wish he was here, and then we could
just
watch
look
him.
At him.
We could watch him squirm under that.
Sweat under the pressure.
And try not to tell you. I have no idea. I don't know if he knows how it's gonna end, or.
Well, I remember.
He's got something cooked up for sure.
I remember that the amount of ideas that come out of that man's head is like so
Every
impressive.
Season, yeah.
Like when we sat down to talk about season 6, I just was like sitting there listening to him, like, then what happens? Then what? What? It was like so much. I was like, I'm like, you could just write this show for 100 years.
I honestly think he could.
I honestly think he could too.
I think he'd have an ulcer before he got there. He puts a lot of pressure on himself.
I think that each character has gone through so much that I think that I can identify with, something in everybody. In watching people, I think there's something for everybody to grab onto, and experiences that they've gone have been mirrored. Being the outsider, or being the person who's misunderstood, or being the person who has to make the decisions for the family.
Yeah.
And being forced into these. Our show lives in the extremes of that, but
100%.
But the characters are all so rich, and they're all going through so much, and so I think how it can apply to a family life or a political life, or things that are happening in the news. There's a lot of parallels.
Yeah, I'll never beat that answer. Copy and paste that for me if you could. In fact, could you just make her not say it, and could you possibly mirror it? They're doing a lot of stuff with
just
visual
say I
effects
said parallels.
Take the mouth, put it right on me. That's assuming we live, which is assuming a lot in this show. Where would you like to see it go?
If Echo is alive, I love when she's charging with armies and stuff like that behind her. I would love. I think actually Octavia and Echo have a really funny dynamic because of all the tension that exists between them, and because they're both really brazen fighters. And both really strong women, but they're also both very different. And so I love the idea of seeing them, if they were to fight together, if they were both alive, to do that next year.
Side by side.
Yeah, because I feel like there'd be a funny just play between the just almost like a sisterhood, like two fighting sisters, we have to deal with each other, but I'm still mad at you,
Yeah, a classic.
Classic.
A classic clash of styles. I don't know where I'd like to see him go. Villain's always fun for me. That's probably my favorite Murphy, but I also enjoy the sort of the gray area in which he lives every season, in which case there's understanding to these decisions that you could definitely consider poor decisions morally, but there are also decisions that I think he's had to make, and that I don't think if he lived his life any differently in the situations he's gone through, I think he'd be dead by now. So if we ever go for like a full-on hero turn that he really does change his life fully, I think then he has to die. Truly, I think that's the only way to complete. I'm not saying that happens. I'm not saying that happens. But that's what I've always believed, is that he one day, if he's to fully complete this redemption that he's been on, then he'll have to die for someone else instead of living only for himself. That's the only way to complete.
See, I find like so many parallels in what you're saying about Echo too, because I feel the exact same way.
Yeah, fair enough. Well, there is a lot of parallels between the two of our characters.
Muchas gracias para todo. Y yo no sé what else to say.
That was more than enough.
I don't know how to follow that, but I'd like to say thank you so much for watching. I mean, without them, we wouldn't be here in Madrid, which is a pretty incredible experience. Also, fans literally saved a panda for a task. They bought a panda.
They adopted a panda. I just got like 2 days ago. So the fandom is amazing and generous and lovely, and I'm so excited to see how the Spanish fans later and interact with them and buy more pandas.
Yeah, let's all buy more pandas.
Everybody, you get a panda.
Everyone's
and you
getting
get a panda.
I want to say that everybody who's there at the screen today gets a panda, and that's a guarantee. That's a Richard Harmon promise.
There you go.
Yeah.
You're gonna get hurt. Is that what you want to hear? And I'm the bad guy? Fine, I'll be the bad guy.
The queen is dead. I'm pretty sure I'm going to hell.